Hello, and welcome to episode 149 of Nintendo Therapy, a show about the latest Nintendo news and rumors, as well as a celebration of all the things Nintendo. My name is Kevin, and joining me this week for our last episode of 2025 is Harrison
Hey guys, welcome back.
and Shawn.
I'll have time to play things. It's so nice. Good.
So we'll be back in 2026 with a stuffed episode 150 for you. Celebrate that even number properly. We will have a few other uploads on the channel. We were just talking about that before we recorded. So don't completely ignore us in the next couple of weeks, but it won't just be like official episodes, but we'll have stuff coming for you. In the meantime, Metroid Prime 4 finally came out after 8 years, guys. Yay!
Yeah, it did. It's this is the first time I've bought a game based on the negative reaction.
There
I've
wasn't you
never
said
had
you
that happen
texted that to
before.
me, but I feel like there wasn't that much of a negative reaction. Like it's got still has an 80 on Metacritic. It's
No, these these
people
are
just like to complain, man.
no, these are people I know though who aren't happy
Yeah.
about it, who have it. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy it because I still haven't played Prime Remaster. I'm like, let me play this one, see what everyone's upset about. Find out I enjoy it, because I started it. I've
Mhm.
only been playing it like an hour, but I'm kinda digging it. So I'm almost wondering if Switch 2 is my try the things I'm not really into system. Because like, Bonanza disappointed me a little.
Mhm.
Metroid, I don't have any, like, nostalgia or anything there, so it's a clean slate for me, so I'm like, "You know what? Let me see. Maybe this is the trick here, is I gotta play the stuff I'm not into." So
Yeah, and as usual, like I'm looking at Metacritic right now, the user score is an 8.5, so it's even better than the critics. But the thing is, like, just like everything that's popular, you have people throwing in ratings that have no business rating something. Anyone who rates this like a 3 or a 2, you shouldn't be rating games. Like in my opinion, if the game's functioning, it's not full of bugs, you know what I mean? Like you got to give
yeah,
it at
yeah.
least a 4. Like come on. Um
I mean, the
but
game had the years stacked against it no matter what. Like,
mhm.
for the people who are
Yeah,
really into it and have been waiting, like, I don't know what you were expecting
that's
this to
exactly
be.
what I said to you, and I really wanted to get that into this podcast to put it out in the world is I feel like people don't temper their expectations all the time, and that's what I did. Is I went into this expecting it to be an updated version of Metroid Prime, but I think some people went into this going, "Oh, it's been in development for 8 years. It's gonna blow people's minds." And it's like just because it was in development forever doesn't mean it's not still Metroid Prime, you know?
Yep.
So, are you playing this, Harrison? You waiting on it? Because I mean, I've heard the Switch 1 version is not bad.
The Switch One
So
version doesn't seem too bad. Actually, if you're watching, well, it's gonna look different on our footage, but we're watching Switch One footage right now. But it's actually the video we're watching on our screen now is actually at a lower quality because I uploaded it at a lower quality. But anyways, I think I'm just gonna wait until to see if there's maybe a sale at some point. I don't know if this one would go
Hmm.
on sale
okay.
before I get a Switch 2 because this is so far the only game, like the only new game so far since the Switch 2 where I've thought that I could get it and then upgrade it on Switch 2. Although that's
Okay.
tough as well. It kind of depends on how I'd be feeling at that point by the time I upgrade my system. Um, and I think it looks pretty cool. I was gonna let you guys just kind of talk about it more, but you guys did bring up the review part of it, so I'll say my part. I'll say my part because
Sure.
I can end with some positivity as far as this part goes. Uh, yeah, you mentioned like the review bombs, and review bombs can go like both ways, but
Mhm.
Oh, yeah.
this is at an 80 for Metacritic, and I just wanted like I've said my frustrations about this before. I'm gonna say it one more time. I'll say it next time if it happens again. The last four big Nintendo releases are all between a 79 and an 81 at this point. The last 4. And you
Yeah.
cannot I haven't played the games, but you cannot tell me th that they're all the same, and, like, this is the part where I'll dig a little bit
People are
deeper, go
mad.
beyond the score, and say that I think that the people who reviewed it well, 'cause I read a lot of reviews this week on this. The people who reviewed it
Yeah, yeah.
well had the same frustrations as the people who gave it like a 60 overall. And that to me was really frustrating because I feel like so much video game journalism now is about one, not making people mad, but also just vibes. Like,
Yeah.
like
Mm.
there's not there's less of a critical edge to a lot of this now, and it really just makes me mad. The
Yeah, well,
positive
people are
part,
definitely hating on Nintendo right now, because of a lot of the decisions they've made in the last year. So I think that a little bit of that has gone into most of their recent releases.
I
Um,
I don't know. I think like when I see when I see like Metacritic scores of like 80, 80, 80 over and over again, it's just like the most milquetoast like, oh, we're gonna criticize it but give it 100. We're gonna criticize the same
mhm,
things but give it a 50. And it's really frustrating at some point because like just pick a side, like stand
mm,
for something if you're gonna like be a part of journalism at some point. The positive part that I want to say is that I um I saw a comment, I forget which Metroid video I was watching, but they said that like the internet has just been the worst part about video games, about like modern video games,
yeah,
because it has spread
Mhm.
so much disinformation. I would agree with that, but at the same time, like at least the internet has given independent outlets a platform to actually do good video game journalism because I feel like the whatever we would call it in video games, like the modern outlets have just completely dropped the ball lately. Like there's just no substance in it sometimes, I think. So
well, yeah, like
that was the frustrating part to me. But
one
I
of the
think it's
things
good
people
that
wanted to harp on to your point of the disinformation is that a lot of people there was a lot of hate for that character with the MCU sense of humor that turns out is barely, at least as where I'm in the game, barely a part of the game. And people made it seem like this guy was going to be tied to the hip with Samus like the whole time. You escort this guy for like 5 minutes, and then my hottest take possibly is he's no different than Otacon in the Metal Gear games. And people love Otacon. So I don't feel like you can say one ruins a game and one doesn't. I honestly feel like you're a hypocrite if you're on the side of one but not the other. Now if you hate both, that makes sense. But or if you love both, that makes sense. But like seriously, where I'm at in the game, that guy's just laying back and every now and then he comes over the comm link to give you some advice, and it literally sounds exactly like Otacon from Metal Gear. So
hmm.
he's not as bad as everyone was hyped up to be, to your point of disinformation.
Last part I'll say
I
about
feel like
that.
Nintendo's philosophy with the Switch 2 specific games seems to be trying to broaden the audience.
Mhm. What were
So
you
I
gonna say,
feel like they
Harrison?
Yeah,
yeah.
Oh, I thought
I
you
totally
said my
agree.
point to that or something.
I started listening to Shawn and I forgot. So
Oh, I was talking
Sorry
about
about
how I was talking about the annoying guy, and he was hyped up to be a much bigger part of the game than he is. People saying it was gonna ruin the game.
well, that's what I'll say to the reviews is that I've been kind of locked in. Like you can, it's been on my mind because I have been fascinated about this release. Because I don't think I've seen a video game where the expectations have been more just everywhere. It has just been
Yeah.
it's like it has to be the greatest game, like not just Metroid game, but like the greatest game ever. and then it has to be like just another addition to the series. And like the 8 years of waiting has made this release very, very fascinating. I'll always remember it.
And
So
a big
that's all.
part of that is gonna factor into, like, when we eventually get a 3D Mario, or we finally get a follow-up to a few of these series, like Animal Crossing now at this point, like, a lot of Nintendo series that have sat for a minute. Um, when we had the Switch, we were coming from a Nintendo who we were almost expecting to fail. And I think
Mhm.
a lot of, like, how awesome the Switch games were, that was a part of it, is like, "Oh my god, Mario Odyssey is so good." They totally turned things around from the Wii U. And now that we're on the other side of that, it's the, "Can you maintain?" sort of thing, and people always root for stuff to fail almost. Like, it's that thing where, I'm a big Simpsons fan, so I always hear them talk about how, like, even starting as early as like season 7, people were rooting for, "Oh, The Simpsons is over now." And it's like the same thing. When you're coming from a high place, there's gonna be more people rooting for you to fall than when you're coming from the Wii U and you release a Mario Odyssey. People are like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing you've ever done."
Yeah.
Um,
Because real Simpsons watchers knows that was like season 10. I don't know. I've never watched the show. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, I could talk forever about that, but, we'll that's
Oh,
another podcast.
yeah, I won't get you off topic.
But
So
yeah, I don't know, I feel like this game, like I said, as far as tempered expectations, I expected this to be an updated Metroid Prime, and that's exactly what it is, and so far, I can't put the thing down.
Yeah, I
wh-
mean, for me, it's kind of a newer thing because up to this point, Super Metroid and Dread are the only two I've completed, and Dread was one of my favorite games I've ever played, which
The
is
mouse controls
bad
are great, like, it took me a minute to get used to them, but once I did, I have not played a first person shooter with mouse controls since, like, the
in a
first
long time.
yeah, forever, probably, like, the early 2000s. So I was so happy to jump right back into that. I'm definitely using that as my control scheme.
that's super cool.
So enjoying Dread so much, like it's great, but it hurts too because now if they do another 2D Metroid and that's what I have to measure it against, then I need to have expectations that are reasonable and not go, well, that game was, oh my God. So the next one has to, because I don't even know what else you add to the 2D formula
Mhm.
other than what they did to elevate it. So
And
for
that's what I
me,
said,
this is,
like, at the end of the day, if this spent 15 years in development, it's still a Metroid Prime game. Like, it's only gonna go so far before you start, like, if you try to inject too much stuff, you're like, that doesn't feel right for the series." And that was almost people's complaint about the nerdy guy, was he didn't feel like he fit the series, but they tried something.
yeah, and like I said, again, the Switch 2 first party games, I feel like they're trying to open these franchises up to more players. You
Mhm,
know, I think Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom on Switch 1 was part of that philosophy then. Um, because this is similar to Bonanza where it's trying to be more approachable and at the
mhm,
same time it adding some different I mean, I guess Bonanza's quite a departure for a Donkey Kong, but
mm.
this adds some stuff, so having the guy in your ear, yeah, I guess that's different because the series is based around solitude and being lonely, but I feel like if they did that again and that's all they did and it looks nicer and whatever, then people would be upset that's all they did was
And
for is the
it's
same
not the first
thing.
time the series has had someone guiding Samus either, like, Metroid Fusion had that onboard computer that, kinda guided you through the game. Didn't Dread have something similar too, where they were giving you direction?
I think when you there were terminals, I think, that
Yeah, that's
would
what it was.
assist you.
Fusion did the same thing, so it's not the first time they've given you sort of a guide, it's just the first time he's had a voice actor. Um, which honestly, I might, this might be a careful what you wish for monkey paw thing. I would like a little bit more voice acting. I wish the things you scanned, came in through, like I've said before of, like, a Jarvis on Iron Man.
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
I wish
yeah,
it
yeah,
just read them
sure,
out loud
Sure,
because, honestly, there's so much scanning, I get tired of reading sometimes, but,
sure.
um, that's for Metroid Prime 5.
Now I've seen a lot because, of course, it blew up and it was trending, but is that the biggest criticism you've seen of this game so far?
So far, the 2 biggest criticisms are the that I've seen are oh, what was the other one's slipping my mind. Definitely the annoying guy, and oh, the hand holding. I saw people criticizing, oh, it tells you exactly where to go, which it really doesn't always. It just sometimes does. And again, Metroid's done that before.
It seems like
yeah.
the
The
biggest.
ones I
Mhm.
see are it's more linear, which probably goes into the hand holding thing,
Yeah, that's what I
and
mean. Yeah.
the desert section feels unnecessary and doesn't add anything to the game. That's the 2 I hear a lot.
Yep.
So,
That's the one that I saw, and it sure seems like that was the one that people were the most worried about heading into it, and it
Yeah,
seemed
that
like
I literally
yeah,
just got to. So I'll have more on that next year.
yeah,
Um, I haven't done enough desert to speak on it yet.
it
but I
sure
mean,
it sure
I'm
seems
gonna
yeah.
yeah, that's the sticking point, but I mean, I'm gonna play it. I've enjoyed the hour or so I've spent with it.
It
So,
looks
I
super
don't
fun.
know.
Like,
I
It is. Like I said, I
almost like
couldn't put it down. I played it literally all day today, and then I was a little late to record because I had to go
yeah,
shower.
I
Like
got
I played it all day.
yeah, like, I have
it's
nothing
almost like you can't have fun with a game now. Like, that's almost like a thing that gets criticized.
y
It's
yeah.
that "stop having fun" meme template people always put out, like
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I just think in my situation, just not having the time to play it,
yeah,
I'm gonna see
yeah.
if there's any sort of sale on these newer Switch 2 games from this year. I don't know, but we will see. But also, like any initial speculations on the future of Metroid? I mean, we're gonna talk about
I
it in
think
in 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 the future, but yeah.
yeah, spoiler for my predictions. I don't think it's going to be in 2026, but I think really quick we're going to see Metroid Prime 5. I fully believe all the inside stories that they developed them at the same time, and that's part of what the delays were, is they couldn't decide where to take the story and lots of stuff like that. All the way back to 2017, they were rumoring, oh, they're developing 4 and 5 at the same time, and then those rumors came up again as recently as this year. So, I think we're sooner rather than later gonna hear about that game, and we'll get the others in some form on the system. I don't think we're gonna get another 2D one for a minute. I think they're gonna focus on this for a little bit.
Interesting. Okay. Okay. Sean, what do you think?
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if they were concurrently, developing 4 and 5 and,
I think let me check
I
my
get
there was something I think even, like, last week about that. I'll get
It's
it in a
never
second.
it's never
I
gonna
feel
stop.
like even with all the negative discourse about it, it's gonna sell well. There's people there who wanna play it and enjoy it, so yeah, I mean,
Oh, sure.
I
I
I'm just
yeah.
hoping that it's, "Hey, Metroid's kinda getting a little steam again between Dread and all this attention to Prime, however you're taking that, so I don't know, maybe they start trying some different stuff with it and you get a Metroid tactical RTS game, or something along those lines. Or another, they could do another remake, remaster of either Prime 2 or 3 or one of the, if they could do a remake of the original Metroid in the Dread graphics engine or something. I don't know. But I
Right.
think there's a lot of room to
Well, they
play
already
there.
remade the
And
original Metroid and had 0 mission, but yeah.
Right, but they remake it again. I get it. I understand. Um, right.
We might get a Switch version of the 3DS game, the remake they did of Samus Returns.
Oh, Famous yeah, I could see
That
that
would be
too.
nice.
Right. I just wonder about some of these not like some of those like middle Nintendo IPs because Dread for the type of game it was a huge success as far as sales goes. But
Right.
that game was planned and released after the initial announcement of Metroid Prime 4. So it's been kind of this like 8-year period where we don't know really where this franchise is. And similar to like, Luigi's
Found it.
Mansion 3 was a huge
Yeah.
success and solidified us knowing that okay, it made so much money that we're going to get another one. But I kind of wonder with some of these IPs like the future isn't completely guaranteed beyond getting at least one more 2D Metroid game, and if Metroid Prime 5, if those rumors are true, that. But I kind of wonder if those rumors are true, or beyond that, what the future of this franchise is. That's all. But I just wanted a temperature check because you guys have actually played it a little bit, and I kind of wonder if this is gonna mean like, yes, Metroid is just here to stay as a Nintendo franchise. I haven't been so sure about it.
I hope so, because like I said, it's a fantastic game that I think people just had too high expectations for. It's it's a lot of fun. It's everything I wanted it to be. I don't think I can say any more than that.
And none of us have played Air Riders because my other question was, is it the best
No.
Switch 2 game so far?
So, I did the demo, and it was interesting, but I know I'm never going to have the time to get good at it. So, I can't really say off the demo if I'd say it's the best Switch 2 game, but I mean, it's another strong first party Switch 2 game that, again, I think is trying to expand the audience.
Wait, which one? I'm
So,
sorry.
Air Riders.
Okay. So Metroid Prime 4 might be the best Switch 2 game this year, like 2025.
I think it's the best looking, but
The
I
best.
don't know if I definitively could say just off the little bit of time I've spent with it that I'd say it's better than Bonanza or the handful of others. There aren't a lot of Switch 2 specific ones I've played this year, so
Is that
that
well then
makes it tough too.
exactly in these like first 6 months in this like 2025, there were only a handful of like really big first party Switch games,
Yeah,
and I think um we might remember this one as being like the top one of 2025. I think we're gonna remember this year pretty well. Um, like
Yeah.
historically, I think there's a lot of things that happened this year that um we'll either remember or we'll look back on and be like, oh yeah, like that happened. So
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
game
cool.
wise for the beginning of the console, it was a very strong launch period because every month you
They
had something.
overperformed, the amount of consoles they thought they would sell. Did you see that a few weeks ago? They bumped up their goal for the full year, not the calendar year.
Oh wow,
The, like,
the fiscal.
actual 365 days of Switch 2.
Yep.
Um, yeah, they bumped up their goal for system sales because 'cause they're doing so well.
So I don't know. I think it's overall, even though it's been a couple months, a pretty strong initial lineup of games for it. So
Probably already sold more than the Wii U. I don't know how much the Switch 2 has sold, but I'm pretty sure the Wii U only sold, like, 11,000,000 systems, so
Well, yeah, very cool, guys. I am very excited to check it out, and yeah, modern or whatever we would call it, mainline or whatever critics like, just take a stand, like criticize some things if you don't like it. If you do like something, express that as well, because I feel like I was reading through the reviews this week, and I feel like I was reading the same thing over and over again. Uh, So, yeah, very cool, guys. Was there anything else going on for the week? That was kind of that was that
Uh,
was kind.
not a whole lot of news. No. I think they're gonna be quiet for the next month because they're just looking to make their holiday sales and not rock the boat. The holiday icons went up. Metroid Prime icons
Mhm.
went up. I bought or bought. I
There we
used
go.
my currency or whatever and got a bunch of those. But yeah, there's not a whole heck of a lot of announcements.
Yeah, there
In
might be something at Game Awards, maybe. I don't know.
mhm. Yep. Yep. There's gonna be something
Prime 5.
whatever like this month, next month is. There's gonna be something in my region. They finally released an eShop, which has been like really big news, at least like around here, because um you know Thailand has had the Switch the entire time, and they've never had an eShop until just like last week. So that's
Uh,
cool. I'm not going to use it, I don't think, because it's just probably easier to keep everything in one region. I would get
Yeah.
games 12 hours earlier though. So um,
Yeah, I almost played Prime at midnight because I got home at midnight when it unlocked or whatever you want to call it. But I did the responsible thing and went to sleep.
yeah. Well, cool then. I
Um,
have if that's all the Prime talk. I do have a
I'm
segment for
sure
us.
I'll have a bunch to say when we come back in January. But yeah, I'm about, I want to say like 5 hours into the game. So not a whole lot has happened.
Well, I do have one segment for us today before we do our spotlight then. Cool.
All
And
right.
then we'll get the hell out of here. All right. So we've done One's Gotta Go a few times. Today is a big one. We're gonna do One's Gotta Go Nintendo Character Edition. You see Mario here, he's pointing, he's saying, get out. All right. So we have 7 rounds. They're all franchises
okay.
and franchises. In the last round, we have kind of a fun round. So, anyways, round one's Mario. Let's do the big one first. Let's do the Mushroom Kingdom first. One's got to go, and the only follow up is going to be that if you r- eliminate them, you have to think, what would that franchise look like without them? All right, that's the only follow up I have. All right, so round one, Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, Peach. This is pretty ridiculous because,
Hmm.
it's pretty obvious. What's the name of this franchise, What's the
Yeah.
name of the franchise?
We don't need Mario.
I, I, I I
Nah.
mean, I
No,
mean, we call it Zelda. How often do you see
that's
Zelda?
true.
Okay,
That's
anyways,
true.
so
No, I'm not afraid to say I think Peach is the one that can go. I know that might upset some people, but eh, does she have potential? Yeah, but have they used it? No. I mean, look at Princess Peach Showtime. Everyone wanted Princess Peach Showtime to be amazing, and it was just pretty mediocre. It was okay at best. I think, and like Mario could be fighting Bowser for any number of reasons. It doesn't have to be because he kidnapped Peach. So honestly, I think that's the weaker link in the fourfold there.
okay, hold on. Okay, hold on though. So you take
Oh,
out Peach, but how does it impact, like, so Super Mario Brothers first game? What is Mario doing? Who's he going
he's just
after?
trying to Bowser still even the story of the first one is not only just that Peach was kidnapped, but that Bowser took over the kingdom. So he's still saving the kingdom.
He's just saving the kingdom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Remember there's
There's
that
just no.
weird piece of trivia in the NES the instruction manual for the first game that um Bowser turned all of the people into blocks, and like all the blocks you're
Oh,
breaking in the game are like the people.
yeah.
It's
Yep.
so weird, but okay.
John?
So I'm gonna go with Yoshi because then it gets rid of all those really boring Yoshi games that I'm not a fan of. Granted, you get rid of
That was
Super
that
Mario
was my
World
second
2, which
choice, but I rationed, yeah, I don't like those games, but they're for kids and they have an audience and they're a good entry point, but to each his own.
you you lose Super Mario World 2, which is depressing,
Mhm.
but you get rid of a lot of those Yoshi games I'm not a fan of, so I'm okay with it. My timeline, there's no Yoshi, so no cookie stacking puzzle game, so I'm okay with that.
You get rid of Yoshi, that doesn't impact maybe as many other Mario games, but you do get rid like a no Yoshi story. Yeah, no, exactly. I'll say
Daisy needs more time in the spotlight anyway.
I will say Peach, and I'll keep it short, and I'll just go back then to you, Kevin. Mario RPG. Does it impact Mario RPG at all if
It
there's no
does,
Peach?
because I've said a bunch of times, every single time I play that game, by the time once I have all the characters available, my main party is always the Nintendo party. It's always Mario, Bowser, and Peach. So I still need to do a playthrough of that game where I don't touch those 2 characters. So yeah, it would affect it, but they'd have someone else to stand in. Maybe Yoshi would be in the party now. Maybe Toad would come along for the adventure.
Maybe Daisy, like you
Maybe
said.
Daisy, yeah. Make it
Cool.
take
Oh,
place in Sriracha Land or whatever that place is called.
so what we're saying is Peach is replaceable. Yeah, exactly. Okay. Well, all right. Let's do round number two. Round number two is Zelda. We're just gonna go like top to bottom here. All right. So we have Link, we have Zelda, we have Ganondorf, and we have Tingle. This is for the audio only people.
This is the
Uh,
easiest one you could have conjured up.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
Of
gonna
course, we
say
don't
this
need
this is
Ganon.
right, obviously. Unless he's incredibly vital to lore and I don't know it, I guess you can live without Tingle, 'cause
So Tingle, I don't know if you know this. Tingle, the reason he sticks around in the franchise is he's huge in Japan. The Japanese love Tingle. America hates him. So that's why he still keeps popping up in games. Is they love him over there.
yeah, I would
But
just
no,
get
he's
rid of
not
Tingle
important.
'cause that you don't need him. You
Yeah.
need the other 3, so there you go.
I mean, Tingle's kind of repetitive once you have Beedle or Beetle or whatever that guy's called, the shop owner guy. They're very similar characters.
there's similar
Oh,
race
that guy.
or similar
Hi.
whatever it be. Well, okay.
Yeah.
So Link, of course, just like in the last round, we didn't mention Mario at all.
Mhm.
Zelda, and this is a different dynamic, right? Like
Yeah.
Mhm.
without Zelda, is Link still doing the same things, right?
Hot take though, I do think if I had to pick one of those 3, I'd pick Ganon. Like I think you could totally have a different villain for the series. As I've said, I love whenever they branch out and do like a Vadi or
Mhm.
whatever that thing in Link's Awakening was, the black void thing that you fight at the end. Stuff like that.
I totally agree. I- Yeah, I totally agree. Like they should make more and then have a universe where they all come together. You know,
Yeah.
gotta
Ganon's
defeat
like
Link.
they haven't really found his motivation yet other than he's evil, he wants power. Like it's pretty generic.
So we're all going Tingle.
Yeah.
We're all Americans. We're all going Tingle. Okay, Tingle is out. How does it affect the lore? Okay, next one's Pokemon. All right, Pokemon.
Ooh.
Not just starters, but some starters. We have Pikachu, Eevee, Charizard, or take your evolution. I don't care. Snorlax. Snorlax would be the only like
Hmm.
non-starter because like we have the Let's Go games, Pikachu, Eevee. Okay, well you got
I'm actually struggling with this one. I like them all.
Well, this is not a franchise I'm big on. I think you could do it without Pikachu. Like
Hey,
I get why he kind of became the mascot, but I mean, I don't know, isn't that part of the appeal of the games is there's different types of Pokemon, so you
I
give different ones the time in the spotlight each game, so
yeah.
I'd just get rid of Pikachu.
The only part that I'd add to that is they probably could have picked Eevee in the same spot and made it the same because I
well,
think the
originally it was gonna be, uh, Jigglypuff or Wigglytuff, one of the 2. Like, originally, they were gonna go with a different Gen 1 as, like, the main mascot, weren't they? And then,
yeah, that
for
would
some
that would
reason, they
make sense.
switched to
It would be
Pikachu.
funny if they were like sticking with Jigglypuff and they were like, guys, we have Kirby already. Like we
I
already got a pink round guy. Like we can't. We
I
got to
think
do
that's
something
exactly what
else.
happened, actually.
That's probably what happened. They were probably in there
That's
smoking cigarettes at the time because apparently that's what they did back in the day. Uh,
Right. You guys are the Poke trainers, so I don't know.
I've never been big on Charizard. I know that's a hot take, but I recognize that it would probably have one of the bigger impacts of these. I think I could do without Snorlax. There's a lot of tank Pokemon out there. I don't necessarily need him. I'm gonna go with Snorlax.
I got to keep Pikachu. Not one of my favorite Pokemon, but was the first Pokemon game I played. Pokemon Yellow. I love Eevee. Uh, Charizard's more about the anime because
Mhm.
his story is just so sad. Like the story of Charmander is so sad, and then Charizard
Not
just becomes
sadder than Cubone.
I don't know. It's really really sad. I mean the previous owner just leaves it out to die. That's pretty bad.
Cubone's wearing his mother's skull.
But then but then Charizard ends up being like a jerk. Like he ends up just growing up to be like kind of like a teenager almost, or I don't know how you describe it. So I had to stick with that, and I have to go Snorlax, although like such a hilarious character, just
Mhm.
um, it's just a big fat guy.
As soon
So
as you could breed Pokemon, that part of Cubone's lore didn't make sense anymore. 'Cause you breed some Cubone and you're like, "But that's not his mother's skull. I made that egg, his parents are still fine." Sorry.
on the subject of Pokemon doing it, there's a lot of parts that don't make sense. So we
Yeah.
got we got to move on. I don't know about all that. Let's do a Smash round. This is Smash only.
Ooh.
So if you're eliminating it, you're not eliminating the whole series. You're just doing Smash only, okay? So Smash characters: Kirby, Samus, Captain Fal. I'm doing out of word. Kirby, Samus, um, Captain Falcon. What am I missing?
Star
Um,
Fox.
what?
Fox McCloud.
Fox McCloud. Sorry, totally
This one's
slipped my
pretty
mind.
straightforward for me. You
Yeah.
get rid of Kirby. He's like
Right.
one of the most overpowered characters in that entire series. So,
Only only after Melee. Before Melee, or was it Melee where he started to be? I don't know. I know in the first one he's not. I'm
no,
going
I,
with
I
Captain
think
Falcon.
since Melee, Kirby's been
"Should be your
overpowered.
moves."
So,
Don't need to hear it. I don't even know
Um,
what he's doing there. He's a race car driver. He's not a fighter. Then again, at that point, they were throwing everybody in, so
yeah, I was gonna say the Duck Hunt dog's in there for crying out loud. But
yeah, the Wii Fit, whatever. Yeah.
it's really weird. I'll say this about Captain Falcon. It's really weird that he's a original Smash Brothers character, like going all the way back to the first game.
yeah, okay, that's fair.
Like I'm pretty sure he is, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
So, okay. So who you getting rid of, Harrison?
So wait, you went Kirby, and then
Yep.
And then Kevin, you went who?
Captain Falcon. Don't need him.
Yeah, I like playing with Kirby, but I'd probably eliminate Kirby because yeah, I think I agree with Sean. Yeah, I think he is he is very overpowered. I always like playing with Yoshi because he was always one of my favorites. I always thought he was overpowered as well. So that might just be my thing. This is really tough. I think it's really hard to eliminate any of the other three because of like the certain mechanics they bring to that game.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
um, Kirby more or less is just yeah, just pounding people and sucking people up and yeah,
Floating
exactly.
all over the damn place.
Yeah. And yeah, if you eliminate him just from the Smash series, I don't know if it impacts any of the story modes or adventure modes.
Tournaments go to
But
shambles, but other than that, I guess
at
it's
the end of the day, because it's HAL
Yeah.
Laboratories, he would actually be the last character to be eliminated.
Right.
it's hard. This is a Kirby game. What?
Yeah,
Smash
exactly.
Brothers is technically a Kirby game.
Yeah. It's the Kirby meme I always post. It's all Kirby.
Yep.
It's all Kirby. Okay. Let's do a villains one. All
Woo.
right. So a return. Okay, so we get Bowser. We get Ganondorf again, King DDD, and Ridley. That's Ridley, right? That's Ridley
Yeah.
from something.
It might be Mecha Ridley, but it's Ridley in some form. I can't really tell.
Right. Right. Hey, I get to choose the graphics. So, uh, which I didn't pick one for this.
Well, King DDD is too fun to say, so you gotta keep King DDD. I
Yeah.
honestly, my heart of hearts, even as much as I'm loving Metroid this week, I don't think Ridley's gonna be in it, and I don't miss him, so I'm going with Ridley.
I don't know enough about the Metroid villains to know how many there are.
It's always really weird to me that Ridley, who's this big pterodactyl thing, is actually, like, if you look into the lore and the story, like, a competent, like, almost like military general, and, like
Okay.
like, it doesn't fit the design at all to me.
It's not just a big monster man, it's
Yeah,
something with
no,
a brain.
it's almost like he, like, can, like, use a computer and stuff too, and I'm like, "How?"
I'll play the Ganon card now because again, I agree that the Zelda series usually is more interesting with a different villain. And not that Ganon's never been good, but I think the number of times Ganon has been the villain is a little too much. So
Yeah.
I would pick Ganon just because I feel like that series really shines when they find something different and weird to be the antagonist.
I mean, I don't wanna keep repeating myself, but we need more Vadi. That guy was awesome, and, he was only in, like, 2, maybe 3 games, but, you know, you could have Skull Kid come back or the
Yeah.
Majora's Mask
So
come back. Uh, Nobody wants to see
Zant
Garahim from Skyward Sword again, but but at least
Zant
he was
was
different.
the better villain in Twilight Princess, I felt.
Yep, Zant.
Certainly had the better boss fight. So
I'll
Maybe just a
say
Zelda game where one of the Lionels is a villain. Those horse people.
mm,
yeah, I'm kind of just piggybacking everyone, but I'll say Ridley. And I also haven't played the series enough to really know. Uh, Now, assuming that if we eliminated any of these, you would still have to have some sort of antagonist. Is there any? Did you go through your mind at all? What, like, if you eliminated Bowser, what that would look like? Would you just need like a different like
it
main
Well,
clearly
antagonist?
would it'd be Wart all the
yeah.
time.
I've
honestly.
mentioned before that
So
I used to think Wart was King Bowser when I was growing up. I thought, or King Koopa, sorry. I thought
Uh,
Bowser was Bowser and Wart was King Koopa because he dresses like royalty.
yeah,
So I thought he
yeah.
was the king character. But obviously I was wrong.
it would just be war. Wow. Alternate
Metroid, I'm
universe.
always unless they're viewers, listeners, maybe I'm wrong and there isn't, but I always find it weird that in Metroid there's no like evil space emperor guy that's like out to get Samus for some reason.
Yeah.
Pterodactyl.
So
It's just
is he a, is he a space emperor?
just
No, he's not. He's like I said, he's the leader of the space pirates. And like again, they're kind of like insect designs too. It's really weird that they like have spaceships and like travel the galaxy, you know. It doesn't seem like they should be very technologically advanced, but they are. Um and yeah, he killed Samus's parents. It's one of those like blood
horrible.
feuds.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible. Horrible what Ridley did. I mean, you're the Kevin, you're the trivia guy. I know that there was a lot of Star Wars influence on different Nintendo games. Did Ridley have any other like Jurassic Park? Was there any influence of anything else at the time?
Alien was obviously with
Uh,
Ridley being the name.
okay.
The Alien series was a big influence.
I guess that makes sense.
I was wondering about because they named that Metroid Prime 4 character Miles something, Miles M something. It's
Oh
like
yeah, Miles.
it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Miles per
M,
hour,
it was like
which I
M
think is
M,
pay.
and I was like, that is really close to Miles Morales, just
Isn't that
with
Tails' real name?
like names, Miles McCloud. I'm sure that's it.
Yeah, Tails from Sonic Tails is his nickname, and his real name is Miles Prowler, which is per hour, obviously.
Oh,
Sorry.
s- uh,
Brilliant.
I know what you're talking about now. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's do a sidekick one.
Um,
Sidekick round. This is round 6. We have one more to go. We have Navi, Midna, Yoshi again,
Again.
and Diddy Kong. So, Sean, I'm going to you first. Actually, Sean, one's got to go.
Surprisingly, I'm torn between Navi and Midna because I don't remember Midna not being annoying. Like, I know she gave you the cool wolf ability and stuff, but I guess she wasn't as like pushy with the button commands as Navi.
Yeah.
I guess
I'm gonna go
Navi
with
just because you couldn't like ever stop it. Like even in the 3DS remake, like there should have been a mute Navi if she's given you controls that you know, like in Skyward Sword, how you can turn off the tutorial thing coming
yeah,
on
the fact that you
constantly.
can't turn her off is so annoying because I've played through Ocarina of Time like a million times. And the fact that every time I start a new file, I need to be taught how to open a door is so annoying. Like,
So
you
yeah,
should be able to shut this off and be like, I can open doors. I'm gonna
yeah.
go with Navi as well for a different reason. Yes, she is kind of annoying, but they're both annoying. But I feel like Midna at least has more of a story purpose. She's definitely more
Well, yeah,
involved in the narrative, and
yeah.
it would affect the universe less if she left. And that is, I think, mostly a result of Navi not like almost being an afterthought. Like it's short for navigation. If you didn't know
Mhm.
that, because they were still trying to figure out how to do 3D video games and like that was their solution was, hey, Navi can show you what you should be looking at, and she'll fly over to it. Um, so yeah, she doesn't really have too much. I mean, here's the thing: the Zelda community makes a huge deal about the fact that at the end of Ocarina of Time, spoiler alert for a 40-year-old game or whatever, it's not 40, whatever. Uh, the the end of the game is at the end, she flies up and leaves. And Majora's Mask in the beginning, Link is looking for Navi. He's out searching for her. But she never like if you weren't told that, you'd never know that's what he was doing at the beginning of the game, and you'd never know that was even on his mind. So, I don't
Right.
know. That's my rant. Is she doesn't
Yeah,
really affect
he got
the overall
distracted.
narrative like at all. Yeah.
It's it's really interesting that uh Nintendo made a whole like navigation app to go along with Breath of the Wild, and
Hmm.
they didn't reference that they have like Navi, which is short for navigation. Uh, that there wasn't any kind of reference to that at all. I assume.
And not that Skyward Sword needs any more hate than it already has, but I feel like Fi was worse than Navi. Fi just would not shut up. But okay.
I will go Navi as well. Not too familiar with Twilight Princess, but I do like Midna in the Breath of the Wild series. Just very over the top, which I assume she always is, but it's a very, very funny character in Breath of the Wild. So yeah, I'll
Got
go
that sharp
Navi.
tooth.
Um, Yoshi, you could again same thing as before. You could eliminate Yoshi, but then you do eliminate some games. And Diddy Kong, I guess no one looked there. You know,
I'd I'd lose Donkey Kong before I lost Diddy Kong.
hmm
You lose
exactly.
Diddy Kong Racing if you get rid of Diddy
He's
Kong.
he's the Poochie that worked.
Yeah, yeah. He's part of what was disappointing about Bonanza when you discovered him in
Yeah.
Dixie. He's like, no, we're just here for this one part.
Yep.
Last round is called the Little Buddies round. All right, so we have Kirby, we have Toad, we have Isabelle, we have Pikachu. I'm sorry, we have Pichu. Little buddy round. We have Pichu. Those are your
Toad.
four.
It's easy.
One's got to
Just get
go.
rid of Toad.
Hey, I'm getting rid of Pichu because I remember resenting the fact when they told me after all of the Pokemon Blue I had played that there was a version of Pikachu that for some reason just wasn't in this region. I was so mad. So yeah, Pichu. But I wanna even though we're in the final round here, add something to this game here. Which one of these would you guys fight for? Because I'm fighting for Isabel. I would lay it down on the line.
Um,
Uh, sure. Isabel, I guess. I
She helps you through
she's
so much. She's just all polite. She's like the ideal coworker. Like that's like what they did when they made her character. They're like, let's make the person everyone wants to work with.
sure.
sure. Yeah, I think she's fine like as a character. I tend to defend her more because of like the backlash she gets based on I think what is just poor game mechanics of like yeah, she doesn't like sometimes you just want to get through the beginning part and just get to your game.
I don't
That's not
understand those
Isabel's
people.
fault though. Um
Some of my favorite parts are the beginning parts when you're first starting out. Like neither here nor there.
yeah.
She's just there to help.
Mhm.
Right. But I don't know like are there like any like big like Navi defenders out there
I'm
that
sure there
like
I'm
are.
sure there are.
that like kind of feel the same way. Because yeah, I would defend Isabella as well because that tends to be how I think of it more of like sometimes even there's even sometimes where I criticize something and then people go way too far and then I say, you know what, we're good. Like
I have
actually
a
I didn't care that much. Um,
I have a random piece of Toad trivia that I just learned recently. Is if you ever need to pick Toad out in a group of Toadstool people, He's the one whose vest doesn't match his hat. Apparently, Nintendo goes out of their way to make sure all the Toads, if you got a red hat, you got a red vest. If you got a blue hat, you have a blue vest. He's the only one who's not matching.
Yet another
It, w-
reason
it
to
was a
not like him.
choice. It was a choice.
Ugh.
Yet another reason.
Toad's the HR guy no one likes. So
If we eliminate Kirby, um, we have to get rid of like
you el- you
30 Switch
eliminate
Online
half the
titles.
games in existence.
Yeah, we have to get rid of like every game.
There's no Nintendo Classics would be devastated if you
All right.
took away
who
Kirby.
who would have been that one enemy Link was dreaming of in Link's Awakening where Kirby made his cameo?
All
And you'd
right.
have no dream course. What would be the point of anything at that point? I mean, come on.
All right.
So
I'll
one
say
last
Pichu. Yeah.
spotlight, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Pichu? Okay.
yeah. I'll say Pichu. I always like Pichu, but it's like, oh, we just get a smaller Pikachu. Okay, I like that. Baby Pikachu, I like that. But I always did like Toad. Although I guess if we're eliminating Toad, we're eliminating the entire like species, the entire like race.
Oh,
Yeah,
I guess. Yeah.
Then I guess it does
well,
impact the Mushroom Kingdom a bit more then if we do eliminate every toad in that universe.
well,
So
then Peach is just delusional and it adds another layer to her character, so that's okay.
so cool. Listeners, play along. Leave us a comment. Let us know who do you go for? Who do you ride for? Who do you eliminate in these rounds? Who was right? Who was wrong? Cool.
We're all wrong.
So we just have an awesome spotlight to kind of finish this year.
Yeah, kind of a nice capper for the last episode of the season here.
Our spotlight this week is Soulcalibur II, widely considered one of the greatest fighting games ever made and a defining title of the early 2000s. It was developed by Namco, released in arcades before hitting the consoles in 2003. It refined the weapon based 3D fighting formula that began with the original Soul Calibur. The game delivered lightning fast combat, razor tight controls, and an incredibly deep roster, all while remaining welcoming to newcomers, which I was. This was the first Soul Calibur I played. Not this week, but when it came out. It was
Yeah.
a rare balance that helped it explode in popularity. At its core, Soul Calibur 2 is built around weapon combat on full 3D stages, allowing players to sidestep, ring out opponents, and control space in ways that felt unique at the time. Controls were simple. You had a horizontal attack, a vertical attack, kick, guard, yet the system supported huge depth with juggles, counters, uh, weapons that I keep bringing up, character specific combos. New additions like improved weapon impact visuals and sharper stage design elevated the spectacle without sacrificing clarity. So the roster, it was stacked. It featured returning favorites. We had Ivy, Nightmare, I think was on the cover, Taki, um, Valdo, alongside newcomers such as Talim and Raphael. What set Soul Calibur 2 apart, though, was its platform exclusives at the time, which is something we haven't seen this type of thing in a long time. Where if you played on the GameCube, you had Link as a bonus character. If you played on the PlayStation 2, you had Hiachi from Tekken. And if you played on Xbox, you got Spawn. And it was a nice marketing move that was kind of legendary at the time. Um, among fans, Link's inclusion is often considered the most iconic crossover in fighting games, with fully realized move sets, a theme around bombs, bows, Hylian shields, that kind of thing. And beyond the versus play, the game's weapon Master Mode offered a robust single player experience. So this is one I owned uh, when it was a contemporary release. And I was talking to Shawn about this week. This was a flashback moment for me because I know I owned the Xbox version, but I was like, there's no way I bought it just for Spawn. Like, I'm not that big a
Yeah.
Spawn fan. So I was trying to figure out why. And I remembered this was a generation where I owned all four systems, which was that never happened again. I had the GameCube, the Dreamcast, the PlayStation 2, and the Xbox. So I think at the time I was just like trying to support each library. And I bought the Xbox one probably because I hadn't bought an Xbox game in a while. Um, but it just shows how different I was all those years ago because there's no way today I wouldn't pick the Nintendo version with Link.
Well,
So it was a different time.
yeah, it is a different time as well because I mean, I was pretty young during this generation, like too young to actually work, and I I had three of
We're
the
too
four
young
s-
to wear.
I had three of the four systems, and I could actually afford it at the time
Yeah.
because you could get like a refurbished Xbox or Dreamcast was on its way out. You could get those really cheap. GameCube was originally priced at $200. So I think this
Yeah. And then they
generation
started slashing that.
and like this generation gaming was just really really affordable. Uh,
Yeah.
so
No, this was one I did own. Uh, so good God, this was a college game for me. We had a lot of playing this. This got a lot of rotation, and this was the game that got me to get the GameCube controller for Switch because GameCube and N64 games seem to just need those controllers to play just right. And
Yeah.
Soulcalibur II, I tried it without it, and it just wasn't clicking. And once I got the GameCube controller, Weapon Master mode. s- This is such a time period because everything in Weapon Master mode now would be pre-order exclusives or stuff you'd have to
Well,
buy.
the
All of
characters
that.
themselves would be like Link wouldn't be
Right.
someone you unlocked in the game. He'd be some sort of DLC character.
Right. So the fact there's a mode that you earn the things in the game by playing the game is
Mhm.
awesome. I miss that. I know it's never coming back because there's too much money to be made. But just that mode in and of itself makes the game worth playing. Like you said, this is one of the most approachable fighting games I think ever released. I don't feel like you're going to just get annihilated constantly in this game. I feel like every character is more or less balanced where you can make it work. Um, the fact that the different weapons kind of have different stats is cool. Like Link gets other weapons from the series, which I think is awesome. The Megaton Hammer is probably my favorite to use for him. Uh, yeah, I don't know. This is just a really really fun game. I would argue it's the strongest game in the GameCube library right now on the online, which
Well,
they're
Wind Waker
all
too.
decent.
Yeah.
But so I don't know. I'm surprised this series has only appeared on GameCube and Wii, and that it kind of. I know the Wii U wasn't a success, but I'm surprised there wasn't a Wii U or a Switch, original Switch version of Soul Calibur because they're still making them.
Yeah.
And I don't think that I want to say Star Wars was the last time they did console specific characters for versions. I don't think they restricted them after that. It was just whatever characters they added, they added. But
Mhm.
I don't know. This is just a really fun game. It's easily one of my favorite games. It's I just enjoy it. Like it's just a joy to play.
They're
Uh
due for a new entry. I just checked, and Soul Calibur
2019
6 is the most recent. It
or
came out in
18.
2018.
Yeah, 2018 Soul
okay.
Calibur 6. Yeah, I don't remember too much about hearing that one. What was your first Soul Calibur? Mine was on the Dreamcast Soul Calibur, but either of you play Soul Edge on PlayStation?
No.
No,
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 no.
I didn't play Soul Calibur 2 was my first, and I think I've played 4 or 5, but I don't know, I enjoyed this one so much, I never felt the need to try the others.
The whole
Yeah, I
series
think this is where it started and ended for me as well.
Yeah, the whole series is received pretty well. I don't know how well 6 sold, but the whole series has been reviewed and received pretty well, especially for fighting games. And of course, I
I know
didn't
6 has a really good character creator because
that's cool.
people have gone crazy making all sorts of stuff for that version.
I love character creators. I think every game should have it.
They
Yeah.
probably have a Link a version of Link in that version.
Right. Right.
Interesting piece of trivia, this game ran at a smooth 60 frames per second on all 3 platforms that it released on, which was a technical feat at the time. It's a
And you
technical
know
feat,
what's
you don't even
funny?
see that today.
That wasn't a thing I ever heard thrown around when this came out. I never heard
Yeah.
frame rates being a thing until, like, modern gaming.
Well, people were
Like,
still playing on standard definition televisions when it came out. I mean,
I
yeah, flat screen TVs were popular and HD was HD even a thing yet? It must have been.
I know
But
it might have been starting, but it wasn't the standard, but that's what it you
yeah,
didn't hear the tech end of games like you do now where it's like, well, it only runs at 53 frames a second or whatever.
Right.
yeah.
Right.
You remember when the Paper Mario remake came out? That there was a
Oh,
big to
yeah,
do about how the original was 60 frames and the Switch version was only 30
it's
frames.
30.
And people were literally saying, "Oh, you're gonna have to be frame perfect to pull off time attacks now because they cut the frame rate down." I'm like, They're obviously gonna compensate for that in the programming, guys." But
Right.
um,
Yeah, I mean,
just
this takes me back to a time where gaming was just fun, and I was playing with other people in the same room, and I don't
It
know.
it is
It's
a
all good,
great
all good.
performing game, and yeah, that was a point that I wanted to make too. Is that like this is definitely a generation where social gaming is still just huge. Like online gaming
yeah,
starts to become a thing. You know, LAN parties are a huge thing at the time, but this is definitely a game
Mario Party.
where it got sold on the characters and the fighting and the mechanics and the graphics, but the overall accessibility is, I think, the number one selling point of this series, and I just think that's awesome. Because because fighting games should be about, like, being able to have a lot of different kinds of people pick it up and be able to play it, so I give it a lot
Mhm.
of credit there. Of course, I didn't play it this week. I'm gonna switch to. But I luckily the games on the GameCube service are all games so far that I've played a good bit. Where is Spawn from? Spawn
The
on the
comics?
what is it?
You mean originally, like, where is he from? He's a comic book character? Is that
Yeah,
what you mean?
yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah,
comic book character.
Image.
Todd McFarlane left, Marvel to go work for Image Comics. It was a big thing because he made his name at Marvel Comics, and then a bunch of guys started their own publisher called Image, where it was very creator focused. Whoever created the characters retained the rights to those characters. Unlike if you make a character for Marvel, Marvel owns that character. But over at Image Comics, they were very creator focused. And he made Spawn, and that's all he had to do for the rest of his life. Spawn just took off. So, um, yeah, he's from Image Comics, and he had a film in the 90s, and they've been talking about making another film for like the last 10 years.
Interesting.
But
Well,
he did show up as a DLC character in Mortal Kombat 11.
Oh, he
So
had an
he came.
HBO
mhm.
animated
Yep,
series as well, back
animated
when
series.
nobody had HBO, like before The Sopranos, before all that.
So
well,
yeah, he came back around as a guest character, but I think he
no,
had an axe in Soul Calibur.
yeah. Well, no
Yeah.
offense to Spawn or Tekken, but Link is by far
Oh, yeah,
the
easily.
best version of it. And I totally forgot which era we were in because I was on the Wayback Machine last night looking up reviews of this game, and then I was like, oh yeah, I could just go to Metacritic and read all of these reviews just from there because almost all of them are still online from this era. But this is
Hmm.
maybe the best reviewed game we've ever played. It's hard to say given the generations, but I counted 9 perfect scores initially, and I mean, Eurogamer called it the best 3D beat 'em up of all time. Given like 3D gaming was less than 10 years old at this point. But
Right.
really, I mean, just huge like reception of this game. People just really loved it on all systems. It also 2003 was a big and kind of a weird video game year. It was the inaugural Spike Video Game Awards, and it won. It was nominated for a bunch of categories, but it won most addictive game of 2003. Um, Game of the year, fun fact, and this was, I'm sure, I think it was partially fan votes. Game of the year was Madden 2004, which is just really interesting. Just seeing an
Mm.
EA game win Game of the Year. I would say that it's a pretty good uh, game for a Game of the Year nomination. Madden 2004. Best sports game was Undergrounds, though. Um, yeah. And then I put in our notes, best graphics was Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Just just to have an idea of where the fans
Uh,
were at the time. Um, exactly.
Physics.
Yeah.
I always misremember, who the PlayStation 2 character exclusive was for this because I'm not a Tekken person. So in my
Misha,
mind
Misha, something like that.
yeah, in my mind, the PlayStation 2 version had Darth Vader, which I think he was in one of the later entries, like Soul Calibur
Yeah, that
4 or
was
something.
4. I think it was him and Yoda were the PlayStation and the Xbox.
I think that's what I mean, obviously, they didn't have any say, but, I'd like to live in that universe. I wish Darth Vader was part of this game.
Well, I think Link's the best of the 3 because Spawn does fit in with the roster, but I feel
Yeah.
like Link is perfect for the roster. So
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
because
mean,
you know,
I think
he's
they
mid
get
it out of all the Nintendo characters, he's definitely the one you gotta pick. Like, Mario does not fit in this game, like, maybe someone from, Marth, what's that game called?
oh, Fire Emblem.
Fire Emblem, yeah, maybe someone from Fire Emblem, but that hadn't really exploded yet, like, after the Smash Brothers would make it explode.
Yeah.
I I mean, they do
Not over here anyway.
they get tons of credit for just the inclusivity of not just Link, but Link especially, and then the other characters. Because it does feel very seamless, and that's not easy to do. Like it takes a lot of effort
No.
to do those sorts of things, and I'll always find it to be really cool and really special when Link, Zelda, whatever character it might be, is in like a non-Nintendo game. I think that's really special, and I have to imagine like the talks and conversations leading up to it's really special too. I mentioned it the same
Mhm.
thing when we talked about like Cadence of Hyrule, like imagining an indie
Mm,
company getting the access to be able to put Link and Zelda in your game. Um,
yeah.
Being a big first party developer, being able to uh, do the like the Age of Calamity, Age of Imprisonment games. I think it's really cool that Nintendo gets to, like, releases these huge characters, and then I think they play an homage to Link very well. You're right. It is the obvious choice. Um, so yeah. Anything else about like the gameplay, guys? I mean, I haven't played this game in a while, but it is one of the best performing GameCube games.
Oh, it every time I put it on, hours go by. So it's just as addicting as it was back then. So
Yeah. And it's not completely lost either, Sean. I don't think either. I think there are like some examples of you will see games, especially indie games, where you do see a complete game within it. Because that
oh
part,
yeah, yeah. I'm saying for a big company game,
yeah, it's just very rare.
all
It's
everything with
extremely
this
rare.
game would be so different today.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it's extremely rare, and it is frustrating that so many video game companies they'll like create their own genre and they'll create their own like consumer needs, and then they will take that away with DLC or
yeah.
microtransactions or whatever that might be. But yeah, it is kind of crazy that we're at a point where like you have a complete game and you're like, oh wow, there's actually the whole game in here, huh? So, yeah, I have a feeling I ranked it really high, but I have a feeling I ranked it lower than you guys. I didn't check your scores, so.
Where,
I
where'd you
ranked
rank
it.
it, Anderson?
Okay.
Oh sure, I did
Well,
29.
he's
I did 29,
29.
and I will say that my top 30 is like real solid right now. Like it's gonna be really hard to like even break that because I even have games that are like Earthbound is like 20 for me, I think. So like
Yeah.
there are like some like really solid games in my 20s that would be in a lot of people's top fives, I think. So that's where I have it.
Where you got it, Kevin?
I agree with what he said about the top being solid at this point. Like, m my top 37, it's gonna be 40 before you know it, um, are like it's not until number 38 on my list where I'm like, "I like this game, but I see it has a lot it has flaws." You know what I mean?
Mhm.
37 down to 1, I'm like, "I love all these games." And that said, Soulcalibur is 37. So it's right at the the line, but it's in that good company.
All right, fellas. So, um, I guess not surprising. This one has cracked top 10. So this is number 5,
Brr,
Soul
brr, brr,
Calibur 2.
brr.
I
Um,
need I need
Here's
a
what
I need a
happens.
top 10. I need a
you need the top 10 now.
I need a top
Top
10
10.
like sorry, keep going, Sean.
So,
I'm interrupting.
so it's in the top 10. So it's 10 is Minish Cap, nine's Mario World, eight is Mario Brothers 3, seven is Sin and Punishment, six Yoshi's Island, Mario World 2, five Soul Calibur 2, four Toe Jam and Earl, three Castlevania Bloodlines, two Link to the Past, number one Kirby's Dream Course. So I really like Soul Calibur 2, and the multiplayer element just I'll play this forever. So like
Well, let's find out what you will play for our
our
first
next year,
game in 2026. What's that?
our first game of next year.
Yep, first game of 2026. Oh, I should have said games because it's a dual pack this
Oh,
time. Makes sense to do these together because I don't think we could, in good conscience, separate this into two different segments. We're going to be doing Streets of Rage and Streets of Rage 2. Very similar titles, a lot of crossover elements there. So we're going to talk about the Streets of Rage games, and if they add Streets of Rage 3 for some reason, isn't that a new game though? That's
Nope,
no. What was the new
4 is
one?
the new
4?
one.
Oh, 4 is the new one. All right. Well, if they add that between now and
We'll
2026 when we
do all
come back,
3.
we'll put that one in there too.
So starting off with some beat 'em ups. I like it. I like it.
Yeah, it's a genre that's making a comeback with things like Mutant Mayhem and the Marvel game they just had, Cosmic
Cosmic
Invasion.
Invasion looks
Um,
awesome. It
I mean, we
looks
just mentioned Streets of Rage had a 4, so yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
Here's the Rage 4 was really, really good. So,
yeah. It had a bunch of
well,
beat 'em ups come out lately. Terrifier and it had a lot of them come out recently.
I think they're games that don't require a lot of programmers is a plus to them. Like, you can have a relatively small team, and if you've got a good license involved, you'll definitely sell the units to make a profit type thing.
It's a very agreeable game. Like
Yeah.
a punch somebody in the head type of game is a very agreeable game. It's very easy.
and they're
It's very easy
usually
to
get
understand. What do I do? You see that guy?
Hmm.
and you can do that with the same person on the couch, so that's a plus.
Yep.
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, thank everybody for listening to us this year. Just try to tell your friends and anyone who likes Nintendo about this podcast so that when we come back next year, we come back and everyone's just like kind of starting on the same page and we'll all go through 2026 together. This show kind of started as hype for Switch 2, and now the Switch 2 is here, and we are just looking at what Nintendo is bringing. So I can't wait to see what 2026 brings. We'll have our predictions when we come back. Hope everyone has happy holidays, whichever holidays you're doing. And what else in there? Anyone else got anything to say? Or
Nintendo Therapy is
you
part of
gotta
Side
hire
Panel
the
Network. Um,
oh
if
oh,
yes, I
yeah,
forget
yeah.
to do that.
if you like basketball, I have my weekly podcast. Usually comes out on Mondays. If you like Let's Plays, I have daily uploads recently on my Let's Play channel, Harrison Plays Games, and that'll all be linked probably below somewhere. Go find it, and I hope you guys have a great holiday. That's all I was gonna say.
All right, we'll see you all in 2026.
Soulcalibur II.